What did Jungkook do that shocked ARMY and split opinions worldwide? Was it a silent message, a hidden signal, or something far deeper than anyone expected? Read now and decide for yourself. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join the debate shaking the BTS fandom. Did anyone truly see this coming? Or were the signs always there, hiding in plain sight beneath the dazzling lights and carefully curated moments that have long defined the world of K-pop's biggest phenomenon? The unexpected attitude displayed by Jungkook has ignited a wave of speculation, emotion, and division among ARMY that few could have imagined even days before it happened. What began as a fleeting moment, so subtle that some fans initially dismissed it as meaningless, has now transformed into one of the most debated and emotionally charged discussions in the global BTS community. Was it merely fatigue, an unguarded instant of authenticity, or a deliberate signal that something fundamental is shifting behind the scenes? The question itself has become a battleground. The incident unfolded without warning, in a setting that should have been routine, even comforting. Jungkook, known for his warmth, attentiveness, and almost instinctive responsiveness toward fans and fellow members, appeared different. Observers noticed first not what he did, but what he did not do. The absence of his usual micro-expressions, the quick smile, the reflexive nod, the gentle eye contact that has long defined his public persona, felt jarring to those who have followed him for years. In a culture where consistency is part of identity, deviation carries meaning. And meaning, in the hyper-attuned ecosystem of fandom, quickly becomes narrative. At first, clips circulated quietly, framed as curiosity rather than controversy. Some fans described the moment as humanizing, even refreshing. They saw a young artist refusing to perform constant emotional availability, reclaiming space for authenticity. Others felt a different emotion entirely, unease. They questioned whether the shift reflected internal tension, emotional strain, or interpersonal dynamics no one outside the group could fully understand. The same few seconds of footage were replayed millions of times, each viewing layered with projection, hope, fear, and interpretation. The debate did not erupt immediately. It simmered, gathering force as more eyes and hearts joined the analysis. Why did such a small change resonate so intensely? The answer lies partly in Jungkook's symbolic role. For over a decade, he has embodied continuity within BTS's evolving narrative. The youngest member growing before the world's eyes, balancing humility with excellence, vulnerability with discipline. Fans have watched him navigate adolescence, superstardom, and artistic expansion, often perceiving in him a kind of emotional transparency rare in celebrity culture. When someone so closely associated with openness appears suddenly guarded, or simply different, the contrast feels seismic. It disrupts expectations not only of behavior but of identity itself. The conversation fractured along emotional lines almost instantly. One group insisted nothing meaningful had happened, warning against overanalysis and urging respect for boundaries. Another argued the opposite, that ignoring the change would erase Jungkook's humanity by forcing him into a static persona. A third faction adopted a more anxious tone, reading the moment as evidence of strain within BTS's interpersonal fabric. None of these positions existed in isolation. Fans moved between them, sometimes within the same discussion thread, reflecting the complexity of attachment that defines long-term fandom. What intensified the debate further was the absence of clarification. No statement followed, no contextualizing explanation, no reassuring interaction that might have reframed the moment. Silence in celebrity culture is rarely neutral. It becomes interpretive space, and interpretive space invites narrative construction. Fans began revisiting past footage, searching for precedent. Had Jungkook shown similar restraint before? Were there earlier hints of emotional withdrawal? Each rediscovered clip was treated like archaeological evidence, assembled into competing timelines that either confirmed or refuted the idea of change. Some commentators argued that the reaction itself revealed more about fandom than about Jungkook. They suggested that audiences often demand emotional constancy from idols, interpreting any deviation as crisis rather than natural variation. Others countered that long-term patterns do matter, and that sensitivity to subtle change is part of deep parasocial connection. The debate thus extended beyond a single moment into broader questions. How much authenticity do fans expect? How much performance is inherent in idol culture? When does observation become projection? Emotion played an undeniable role. Messages flooded platforms expressing concern, loyalty, defensiveness, or disappointment. For many, Jungkook's perceived distance felt personal, as though a familiar presence had briefly turned away. Yet others found empowerment in the possibility that he was asserting autonomy, refusing to meet constant expectations. The same event produced opposite emotional conclusions: loss versus liberation. This duality fueled engagement, as each side sought validation not only of interpretation but of feeling. Observers outside the fandom also entered the discussion, often with analytic detachment. Cultural commentators noted that K-pop's global reach has intensified scrutiny of idols' micro-behaviors, making even ordinary fluctuations visible worldwide. They argued that Jungkook's moment highlighted the tension between individual growth and brand continuity. An artist evolving emotionally may conflict with a brand built on stable persona. Fans, accustomed to consistency, then experience evolution as rupture. Whether Jungkook intended any message at all became secondary. The perception of difference had already generated meaning. Within ARMY spaces, however, the conversation retained a more intimate tone. Many fans framed their responses in relational language: trust, worry, pride, protectiveness. They debated not only what Jungkook had shown, but what they owed him in response. Should they defend him from speculation, or acknowledge visible change? Should concern be voiced publicly or kept private? The fandom's self-reflection became as central as the initial moment. In that sense, Jungkook's unexpected attitude triggered not just disagreement, but introspection about the ethics of fandom itself. The emotional intensity also stemmed from timing. BTS as a group has been navigating a period of transition and individual exploration. Members have pursued solo projects, military obligations, and personal growth paths that inevitably reshape group dynamics. Fans are acutely aware of this context, even when not explicitly stated. Any perceived shift among members thus intersects with broader uncertainty about the group's evolving future. Jungkook's moment landed in a landscape already primed for interpretation, amplifying its impact. Some narratives framed the incident as maturation. Jungkook stepping into a more reserved adulthood after years of boundless expressiveness. Others framed it as fatigue, the cumulative weight of global fame manifesting briefly. A more dramatic interpretation suggested internal conflict or relational strain, though evidence remains speculative. The coexistence of these narratives, each plausible yet unconfirmed, sustained engagement. Uncertainty itself became content. Interestingly, the debate also revealed generational differences within the fandom. Longtime followers tended to contextualize the moment within Jungkook's broader developmental arc, emphasizing continuity despite change. Newer fans, lacking that historical baseline, sometimes interpreted the contrast more sharply. Thus, perception varied with memory depth. The same clip meant different things depending on how much of Jungkook's past one carried into viewing it. Media coverage amplified the situation further. Headlines emphasizing shock or mystery circulated widely, drawing casual observers into the discourse. Each retelling slightly reframed the event, sometimes exaggerating its novelty. The narrative expanded beyond original footage into commentary ecosystems where interpretation overshadowed observation. By the time many encountered the story, they were reacting not to Jungkook's behavior directly, but to layered narratives about it. Yet beneath speculation lay a quieter truth. Public figures are rarely allowed ordinary moments. A fleeting change in mood, expression, or energy, common to any human, becomes extraordinary under constant attention. Jungkook's unexpected attitude may have been nothing more than such a moment. But in a fandom built on emotional continuity, even ordinary variation acquires symbolic weight. The debate thus reflects not only fandom culture but the broader challenge of perceiving humanity within celebrity.